everyone. My name is Valerie Regan, and I work in the admissions office here at Stony Brook. Welcome to our faculty workshop. If at any point during this workshop you have questions for us, you can click on the Q&A link on your screen, and we will be live chatting answers to you during the course of the workshop. Some of you may even get your questions answered in a live format by our faculty guest speaker this afternoon. Today, we're going to be highlighting Stony Brook's College of Business. We'd like to give you a glimpse into a day in the life of a Stony Brook student and highlight some of the wonderful opportunities that exist for our students here at the university. We're very fortunate today to have with us Professor Margot Palermo to discuss these issues. In addition to teaching classes, Professor Palermo is the College of Business faculty athletic representative and also the director of the Business Honors Program. It's my pleasure to introduce you all to Professor Margot Palermo. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Valerie. I appreciate it. And hello, and all you achieving high school students. Really, my hats are off to you for all the work that you're doing virtually. And I want to bring you into a little bit of adventure today of what we do at the College of Business and how we're thriving despite all our global challenges, just like you. So one of my questions when I share the screen is for you to think about, what is a sea wolf? So I'm going to my presentation and realizing that I've prompted to the end. So you'll bear with me a minute while I get right to the start. So what is a sea wolf? You think about it for just a moment. The real answer, if you're a Stony Brook University student, is I am a sea wolf. That is what Stony Brook University students say. But a sea wolf actually, if I do look it up, is an actual sea wolf that lives in the Pacific coast of Canada, and it swims between the islands like a fish. So it's genetically distinct from all the other wolf cousins that it might know, or any other wolves in any part of the world. So I thought that was a good little piece of trivia for you when you're writing your applications to Stony Brook University. So what is the College of Business and what do I do on a daily basis? And so I'm going to walk you through an agenda right now. I am going to take questions at the end in the chat. So I'll just have this sort of conversation with myself and walk through the College of Business course. I'm going to walk you through one of the required courses that I teach, which is called Business Communications. I'll also walk you through how you can apply and be a part of our Business Honors Program. And then I'm going to give you a good peek into our athletics program, because you don't want to miss some of the games that are coming up that you can watch virtually and feel like you're part of our Sea Wolf community. So let's get started. Okay, so the College of Business course. What exactly do I do with these students? Well, there's 45 students that were in this class. And I listed literally the homework assignments, like what is the kind of stuff that you have to produce. What I do in the classroom, just to give the backdrop, is I bring in outside speakers. I do interactive work, and we do a lot of breakout rooms through Zoom. Well, recently, we don't do that when we're together, which we will be again soon. And when you come, I'm 90% sure we're going to get you back into the classroom to work with you. So this is what I did this semester with students, and it's similar in person, is that we've got the ability for you to work on software separately from the agenda in the classroom. So on your screen on the left, you should see the Learn Smart. And these are 16 chapters that you get to interact with through a software program. And I assign various assignments from these 16 chapters. And I also bring some of these messages into the classroom. You know, how do you deliver bad news as a manager? How do you relate to people and establish credibility? You know, how do you write routine business messages or manage social media in the office? These are some of the messaging that we do in the classroom. But here's the fun part, I think, and a lot of the students in the end really do appreciate this class, because you walk out with a polished resume, your elevator pitch. So when you get into the elevator with a CEO of a company you aspire to work with, you are going to stir up a conversation, and you're going to put your best foot forward and make yourself shine. We write cover letters together, and we also make sure your LinkedIn profile is making you a very strong presence in the global community. You also have to learn how to interview. And nowadays, I don't think it's going away that there's a lot of digital interviewing. So you've got to be able to master that interview and be able to have this conversation like I'm having with you and speak about specific examples of your successes and why you're the one they want to hire. So we're all about polishing you and sending you out for jobs. And then we got to figure out what you want to do. We were just talking before that some of us, like myself, didn't wake up one day and say, I want to be a professor at the College of Business at Stony Brook. There's a journey that goes behind a lot of our stories and how we aspire to get to certain spots. And what's fun about the class is it's very interactive. So you will have a lot of teamwork, and you'll have a team project with an oral presentation that we did virtually. And we had a great time with it. And really, these students rose to the occasion. Everybody's faces were there. We were all exchanging our best bedhead looks. So there's a lot of fun stuff we're doing despite the challenges that are out there. And then the last part of the course, and please feel free with any questions, is we bring in outside speakers. And so we've had people hiring. All of the 6 speakers that came into the class are hiring. Everyone from Amazon to Geico to CVS to Northwell Health. I'm just trying to think of some of the ones that we had this semester. All were hiring TTI, and offers were made to students. So I feel very privileged to be in the spot of making those connections for our students. And not succumbing to some of the negativity that might be out there that we're all prone to when we're working virtually, right? Okay, so that was the course, the business communications course. It's called the BUS 301, and it's required. So I'm hoping I meet some of you in that course, and you'll remind me of this day that I spoke to you and didn't get to see your face. Now, the other part that I oversee at the College of Business is called the Business Honors Program. And the way this works, I know there's a lot of words on this particular PowerPoint. Matter of fact, it breaks every rule that I tell about oral presentations, which is 6 lines and 6 words per line. So I broke my own rule. But the reason is I'm going to walk us through it a little bit. I'm going to tell you that, first of all, you're going to get a 3.5 in your first semester and automatically be eligible for our Business Honors Program. If it's not the first semester, then the GPA cumulative by the second semester. All you need is the 3.5 to be eligible. And what you're going to do is at that point apply with just a 1-page, double-spaced, why do you want to be a part of a program where you get to pick what you do for the last 2 semesters of your journey at the College of Business at Stony Brook University. It could be research with a PhD faculty. I think my little pointer might bring us there, right? It can be experiential work where you work with a corporate sponsor. So I'll have people, for instance, that are working with Make-A-Wish, and they're working on social media campaigns to bring people's awareness to what Make-A-Wish does as a nonprofit, or it might be a local organization. We had a lot of people working with the Small Business Administration, helping small businesses that were struggling through the pandemic. So bringing, for instance, social media to restaurants that didn't have digital or social media presence. And so they relied on people and word of mouth. But in this environment, they really needed to have takeout, and they needed people to be able to find them virtually. And so we did a lot of work with the Small Business Administration, experiential work. It's your call. When you're in the Business Honors Program, it's your design. It's what you want to do. We have people that are working, 2 students now with Merrill Lynch on a project starting in the spring through the fall. There's a variety of opportunities. You can start your own business. We had a wonderful student whose father had a kidney issue on and was on dialysis, and designed a bag that could be used in the shower. And she patented her concept and her product, and she brought it to market. You know, these are another way that we can embrace what your aspirations and passions are. The Broadridge track. This is one that students do clamor to get into. A matter of fact, we've just opened the lift gates. It's every fall. that a group of students, 15, get to consult a Fortune 500 company here on Long Island called Broadridge. Broadridge is the, how do they say, one of the largest, most unknown Fortune 500 companies that you will ever hear of, because they do all the back room for all the financial service companies. So it's 90% of all the voting on stocks. They do all the statements. There's reams of paper in their I want to say Melville offices. Anyway, the point is that you get to work with the chief operating officer directly and executives at Broadridge, bringing new innovative ideas. So it's millennials and Gen Zs, and we were able to pull this one off virtually this fall. And tomorrow, as a matter of fact, they are presenting the 3 teams to the Broadridge executives virtually from 9 to 12 tomorrow. That's the sort of end of their entire semester of work, coming up with ideas. And they've come up with some really good ones. One of them, for instance, is the augmented reality married to artificial intelligence. And they are making the two together be like on a Tesla website. When you go in, the Tesla car will be dancing and inviting you in to build your own model. So there's a lot of really neat opportunities for people to do that. I'm noticing the chats, guys. I'm just going to say to you, I'll look at them at the end. And I know Ms. Reagan is taking care of us until then. So again, with the Broadridge track, that one people do get on a wait list early on. And then when we get offered to do it again, which will be our 5th year, then we enable people to, with a 3.5 or better, and an interview to get into that program. So I wrote here all the sponsors just to give you an ability. There's more. I mean, it goes on, and it's whatever you want it to be. But I scribbled down some for the sake of this presentation that you can see. The gamut ranges from Brookhaven National to a Boys and Girls Club to a financial institution. So this is, and oh, I got fun with this because students teach me every semester that the QR code and the URL enable you to go directly to the website for the Business Honors Program. So whether you want to point your phone and see if my QR code works, or you want to take a picture of the website, when you get to Stony Brook, we want you to apply to this program. Okay, so next on my agenda is research opportunities that come under the College of Business. And this falls into the Business Honors Program as well as any research that you as a student want to do. So if you put your QR code over this, and I don't think I'll take us offline to do this with you, because what it is a bio of all of the faculty and my colleagues at the College of Business. And the research that's coming out of our institution is superior. And so that you can work next to a digital marketing professor who's comparing different mediums and their effectiveness for revenues at a certain organization, or you're charting with one of our finance professors. We have leadership exercises that are really engaging with labs. So there's so much you could do. And this is the link, QR code or URL, that enable you to go in and explore, the various opportunities that faculty can give you. And I think it's really worth mentioning here that you should, no matter where you go, if it's not at Stony Brook University, you should be reaching out for mentors along your journey. And that those mentors will pull you up. We enjoy that. That's what life is all about, is sort of turning around and pulling people along. And because people are pulling me along, right? Watching each other's backs and helping each other figure things out. And so I would say when you come to Stony Brook, in whatever college or major you find yourself, find the people and the backgrounds and the professions that they're in that interest you. So research I wanted to talk on for a moment, because some people think too, business and research, I'm not sure how it connects. But when you see some of the bios and the work that these professors do, I think you'd be very engaged. And experiential examples. I did put another one because this gentleman just came to me and said, I would love to work with your honors program. And so he is the head of this instrument company. It's a manufacturer of equipment for oil and gas. And they work in 100 countries. and been in business, as you can read for yourself, for 75 years. But what I highlighted for you is they're looking for students to engage in market research projects. Now, when you're an honors student, I help you design what you want to do for 2 semesters. It's not like you're thrown, but so you put a sort of a rubric to your monthly goals. And so in the end, it comes out to the outcome that you and this employer want. So in the case of Kohler Instruments, we worked with a student just recently in the last couple of weeks, so she can start in January, on doing an in-depth market research project with Kohler internationally. And interestingly too, she's located overseas, so they'll be working in different time zones, and she'll be helping add value on markets that they can potentially further penetrate and increase their market share. So that's an example of a project that we just positioned for you all. And then I talked about this a little bit, and I just want to make sure I cross my T's and dotted my I's, is that the 15, because I'm getting towards the end, so I know we're going to have a lot of questions, so that'll be good because it opens up to what you want to talk about, is that we've got the honors track now with this Broadridge course. And so this is a structured course. The others are shells of courses. In other words, you do the work when you want to do the work. You figure it out with the quote sponsor or employer. Broadridge, on the other hand, is a course that meets Tuesday and Thursdays from 4 to 5:20, where we work in our 3 teams and we work on our ideas like that AR and AI idea I talked about. And we work with Broadridge executives on a very weekly basis to develop our ideas in the capacities of Broadridge and their interests and what they can and can't do. We get access to all sorts of privy information to make real things happen. So I think that sort of answered the Broadridge piece. And then finally, my little showcasing ends on something that's near and dear to me, which is the athletic department. So what I do is I mediate between faculty and the athletic department. So oftentimes, like final exams, the soccer team is going for a playoff. Granted, we did not have as many of those challenges this semester, but then I have to negotiate that the final exam for some of the athletes needs to be moved. So if you are an athlete, you are in a Division I program here with a fabulous group of coaches. And our athletic director is just a wonderful, he puts the people first, the athletes are first. So if you're interested, I put the Scan Me here because the games are starting. So if you haven't been following, we do have a men's basketball game on Saturday, and we've got a women's basketball game on Sunday. So please stay close. And I didn't introduce our mascot. I certainly told you. And by the end of this, if I say to you, what is a sea wolf? I'm hoping that you will say, I'm hoping to be a sea wolf. And so what's in the corner of my screen, I've got to get my Zoom fingers going. That's a sea wolf, right? There we go. That's a sea wolf. And you can see it right up here at the top of this particular page on PowerPoint as well. So I'll stop talking. I never like talking a lot in class either. I much prefer it when you're interacting with me. And that's how I premise a lot of my classes. So let's get to those Q&As because I bet Valerie's fingers are falling off. So let me move there and let you know too that you can reach me directly and you can reach admissions. But let's see if I can go to some of the open questions because that was my job. So can students who are part of the Business Honors Program individually connect with businesses on Long Island? So for example, can they speak with them about their process of creating a business, what they did and what they would do differently? Fabulous question, because honestly, the job as a Business Honors student is to find your own capstone. So if this particular student came to me, I would say, wow, this is kind of neat. Would you like to put together some kind of survey and way of reaching small businesses on Long Island and find out directly from them how did they create their business? What are their obstacles? Like, we would create a well thought out sort of questionnaire, the information that you would want. And in a perfect world, it's information that has value to someone. So whether I also connected you with our small business administration on campus, fabulous group, we would connect you with them because maybe what you're doing would really interest them. And you would have another partner in this process, because we do want you to have a sponsor, someone who's overseeing the work you're doing. So absolutely, I would welcome this student. I mean, wow, you're already you're already thinking along the lines of an honor student. So hats off to you. Someone else wrote, I own a charity created by me, which is an official. Awesome. Will Stony Brook help me expand my charity? Why wouldn't we help you expand your charity? For instance, I have to think of a student that we did. What we did a lot on campus was bring this is, I'm making a bridge of answer here. They brought a chapter of Make-A-Wish on Stony Brook's campus, so that we ended up sponsoring. If you don't know what Make-A-Wish is, it's for young children that are either seriously or terminally ill, and we're bringing wishes to them. So you may have seen they've made a whole city stop and turn into Batman land. They've flown people to Florida. So what we did is extend the nonprofit to the Stony Brook campus, and the students' capstone was all about rolling out an outreach program for Make-A-Wish for these students. And so, yes, and would you like to have your own on campus or create one? Absolutely. Again, that falls under almost the entrepreneurial part of a business honors program. Okay, I'm loving these questions. Thank you. When looking for research opportunities, are there certain requirements you need me to meet before reaching out to a professor? No, I think what's most important, and I tell my students, is, well, first of all, the 3.5 GPA is really going to help you, but you don't even need the honors program to reach out to a professor for research. Okay, that's that you absolutely can go straight with a 3.4, 3.3. What you do want to do, this is a little tip between us, is you want to make sure you read their bio, that QR code that I put up. Now, I'm told this presentation will go up on the admissions site, so you can go back and get QR codes, but you're going to want to approach a professor and say, wow, I read that you did this really cool outreach looking at leaders and what were some of the key skills that they needed. So I would say to you, that's how you're going to get ruffle their feathers. You know what I mean? You're going to compliment them enough that they're going to go, wow, you're interested in my research? Well, then would you like to work on it with me? Because they would love to have support with their research. So absolutely not. Okay. You don't need prereqs. What classes should someone interested in the business honors program take? Your walk through what you have to take. You could take anything under the sun as long as you're on track for whatever you are deciding your specialization. And when you first come to the College of Business, you have a set agenda that you don't have to declare your specialization till the end of your sophomore year. So you got a lot of latitude with this one. You'll be taking classes and you'll meet with advisors that will help you build your curriculum. So don't worry about that. You can be in the business honors program with anything as long as you're a College of Business major. Can you talk a little bit about business management major? I'm not sure what I'd be talking about. I'm not an advisor, so it's really kind of important that you don't get too technical with me, like, what courses do I need to take? I could Google it, but I'd suggest like you email me and we get you connected. But also it is kind of online through what we call our Stony Brook University Bulletin. So it does tell you what each major and the course descriptions. So a business management major, for instance, has to take the course I taught called Business Communications. You have to take a marketing course, an operations course, a finance course, and an accounting course. So you absolutely have to take all the specializations in at least one of the we have a word for them and I'm blanking, but it's one of the more senior level of those to graduate at the College of Business with a management major. I hope that helps, but I am not equipped to answer the requirements for majors, guys. So I don't want you to use, oh, she said, because I'll be wrong. I'll get in trouble. So I refer you to somebody. Okay, what type of internship opportunities are available in the business program? Also, what do the internships go towards, like elective credit? Oh, that's a great question, Sean. Okay, so here's the deal. We have to have experiential credit. So at the College of Business, you have got to get out there and do something, right? So you can you have to use experiential credit for at least 3 credits of something. And that's like an internship, that's being a teaching assistant. You have to do something that gets you outside of a academic sort of mindset for 3 credits. You can do it twice. So you can actually intern twice for 6 credits. And again, I'm not going to go down the road of elective, requirement in the whole curriculum. I'm not versed in it, but I do know because I faculty sponsor interns every semester. And I have had the individual EXP, we call it, credit, which they all apply for interns. And then the student can take it a second time. So we could do up to 6 credits of experiential work. And that's internships or TA or whatever. I had a Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish helps me find hospitals for kids with cancer. Oh, neat. Thanks for sharing that. And it's such a great organization, and we all struggle with something in life. We just don't always share it. And so giving to others really gets us outside ourselves. All a good thing. So thanks for sharing that. Can you get into the schools with a 78 GPA? Now that one is not me, that's the admissions people. So I might leave that question, they'll answer it. Let me see what else I didn't get here. If we have already been admitted into the business school, are we already enrolled in the business classes? Oh, that's good. Yeah, you are, meaning you're going to be reached out to as to what to enroll in. Yes. If you're directly into our College of Business, we are taking care of you. You're on our radar. We're going to make sure of it. Can you get recommended by teachers to the honors program? You don't have to get recommended by teachers. I'm here. Just reach out to me. I direct the honors program. You don't need someone to refer you. Just come right to me, and let's get you in it. And honestly, if you come to me with a 3.5 GPA, or you come to me struggling after a first semester freshman and adjusting, I'm going to help you get to the 3.5 to get into the program. So, again, come introduce yourself to me, and we'll make your dreams come true. All right. Let's see. Can you get recommended if you've already been admitted? Can I be a specific track like the pre-law track while being the BHP? You have to be a College of Business major to be in the business honors program. Okay. So if you're going to double major, then it'll work. But if you're not the College of Business major, then the business honors program isn't for us. But listen, don't worry about it. There's other honors programs at this university. I'm not the only honors track. We've got, I've got to remember. You can come in on an honors college directly, which is quite competitive. And then if you're in the honors college, you can still be the College of Business honors program. You can also, if you're in another major, look for their honors tracks. And a lot of them take place in the capstone, which is that last 2 semesters of your experience in your major. Okay. So there's all sorts of honors ways of graduating with honors. And remember, if you get a 3.5 or a 3.7 or 3, you can do the summa cum magna that you do in high school. So that's always available to you despite these honors programs. Is there any clubs or programs that someone wanting to join the B should look into? No. Listen, more the merrier. I would love to graduate you all with honors. So I'm not trying to constrict this. I'm trying to keep it open. How is the finance course? That's a very open question. I think my colleagues in finance are awesome. I think you learn quite a bit. And I know that because I work with the students in those programs. Is it recommended to do a study program or internships abroad to improve the experience of being a student? I think it improves the experience of being a person. I think studying abroad is one of the best things you could ever do. I did it undergraduate and I did it at my graduate program. I did one in London, I did one in Italy, and I taught 2 summers with Stony Brook students in Rome. So I'm a huge fan of global educations and experiences. The challenges were a little bit on hold, and just we're on hold, guys. It's going to go quick. At your age, time goes a little slower than at my age, but I can assure you we will be in the summer with a better outlook on this pandemic. So please reach out to the International Academic Program Office. They're awesome. awesome. I would love to go to Africa with them. So I was actually going to try to go to Italy with them. So I'm on your page. We will get there. Thank you so much, Professor. Another question for you. Oh, thank you, Ramesh. Is it possible to create a presentation for others about money? In my high school, we did something similar called Money Talks. We invited financial advisors. Yes, I like this. I'm a former Merrill Lyncher. My background comes as a broker, and then I managed an international sales trading desk. So we have a place for you to do this for sure. Whether you do it in a classroom environment on an oral presentation, or you do something much more elaborate in the business honors program, absolutely. And when you can start buying that's desired, have an expensive, is this something I could create if it's not already? You absolutely could do this like an on-campus financial literacy course if you wanted, with weekly programs, and you did it for 2 semesters and you invited in speakers. Why not? I think it's a great idea. So that might be your capstone. Boy, I need you guys when my seniors can't figure out their capstones. You guys have good ideas. I'm going to move on. Just let me know if you have more on that one. Do business honor students have to only work with Long Island? No, I just showed you. Well, Kohler was, they're headquartered here. Absolutely not. And in this virtual world, you could work with anyone. So absolutely not. Do that's, a matter of fact, I'd love to see you broaden our programs. And we do students working, I have students that have done projects in India because that's where they are in the summer and they want to start it there and then they virtually. So yes. What does Stony Brook look at when admitting students into their business program? We are, oh guys, help me out. Are we at 3 point? I need admissions on this one. My dean. I don't know if we moved to 3.5. Did the business school move
Yep,
to?
happy to jump in here. So, for a freshman entering the program, we look at your overall curriculum and we want to see that you have good academic coursework. We love to see honors and AP coursework. Generally speaking, we look for about a 90 average, and we want to see that you have strong letters of recommendation, as well as a good essay. So overall, I'd say if you have your standard, English, social studies, math, science, foreign language, and you've done well, around a 90 again in all those courses overall, you probably have a good chance of getting in.
Oh, good to know. So 90 is what you would say is a rough average. Okay.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah. Again, it's not absolute. You might get in with a little bit less than that, but if you have a really compelling essay, or, I've seen some students who have some really good business courses, or they have good job experience, and in their essay, they explain why they want to be in the major. And those are factors that can certainly help you get into the major.
Excellent. Good to know. See, guys, I always learn something too. We're all learning on a constant basis. Okay, so by being in business honors, basically take control of their path. Yes, you basically take control of your path. You have a sponsor to help you though, so you're not like swimming all there by yourself. And I make sure that your capstone rubric is outlined so that we have a clear understanding of the outcome, what you want at the end of your journey, and then how you're getting there. In other words, each month we've built in a sort of, is this what you're going to accomplish? So that you've got this sort of oversight and rubric before you even start. I think you also asked, is it possible to double major? Yes, absolutely, it's possible to double major. As long as one of your majors is business, you can do the business honors program. Is there a marketing minor? Our minors exist. Valerie might want to jump on this. Minors are not as are limited, I believe. We've shrunk our minors a little bit.
Yeah, I believe there no longer is a business minor. What you have is a marketing concentration within the business management major. So you're going to technically be a business management major, but your concentration allows you to take a group of courses in marketing or finance or several other areas as well. So you're going to be exposed to all the different disciplines within business so that you can function in a managerial position, but you're going to have a specialty area in an area like marketing.
So they're majoring really, right?
They're majoring in management, but their concentration is in that area. So it's sort of like having a minor within the business major, but it's technically not a minor.
Right, and you do have to have the College of Business major as well to do that. Okay, good
That's
to know.
right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. If I apply to the honors program, can I still have a minor? Well, I think she just answered that in a really good way. The business management people can have a minor, or you pick a specialization that's separate. So I think that that's very helpful fork in the road. I hope, Gabriel, that answered for
Yeah,
you.
and I think also if you wanted to choose a minor outside of the College of Business, you could do that as well. So if you wanted to, be a music minor with your business major, you could potentially do that as well.
Yep, good, oh, good. How does one figure out their capstone? You're hearing people, Andrew, do it. People are just doing it by brainstorming, by finding what interests you, what your passion. You see that I outlined some for you though, right? I said you could do a research track, you could do an experiential, which I always get employers coming to me, or I get creative. Around the pandemic, I worked very closely with Small Business Administration and rescue efforts for small businesses on Long Island, and I matched 50 students. So I know you'll find something, but how does one figure it out? That's a good question, because it's really something personal, and some people really never do, and they get down to the wire and they take some of the options that I've got and they end up getting a lot from it. When you get to that point, come see me and we'll brainstorm together, and I'll at least get you down a track of what I think your interests are. And remember, life is a journey. Your first job, your internships, you may find out that you really don't like it. That's what the capstone is too. Wow, I really thought I'd be interested in this industry or this job, and once I did it, not happening. I'm out of here. So I think that's part of what the capstone is meant to be as well. I'm moving along here just because I see them keep coming. Giuseppe, does Stony Brook also look at my current senior grades to determine if why wouldn't they, right? Because Valerie, I just want to make sure everything matters, right? It's all about all of you.
Yeah, so initially when students apply, usually the high school sends the transcript and it includes all the way through the end of the junior year. So sometimes we do make a decision without seeing the senior grades, but at this time of the year, students are applying and their first quarter marks are usually on the transcripts, so we will see those. And sometimes in reviewing, we do request to see the mid-year senior grades before we'll actually make a decision. So we want to see that maybe your grades have been going up, and we want to see that you're continuing on that path before we render a final decision on your application. So I know that's a long-winded answer, but sometimes yes and sometimes no. It really depends on the individual applicant.
All right, good. The accounting, oh my goodness, I cannot say enough about our accounting department. We have so many new programs going on. We get the top accounting firms coming to recruit our students. We've had more students in our accounting program. We've got different certifications. We have curriculum now that gets them right through the CFA kind of stuff. I mean, I don't want to speak to it so specifically because I'll put my foot in my mouth. It's not my program, but we have built up that program notably. So that's definitely worth looking online and getting a little bit more insight. Or if you get stuck too, you can always email me and I'll try to refer you to our accounting director. Most of them are new for me. I was wondering how fast paced the honors program. The honors program is your pace. And I think you coming in as a freshman, everything is going to feel a little overwhelming, and rightly so. It should. It's a whole new environment. And I meant to say that earlier too. When we do courses, remember, we're doing them in 14 weeks, 28 classes. And in the case of next semester, February 2nd to May, it's like the first week of May, we finish, I'm looking at my calendar just to give you a sense here. I think we finish, May 6th. So you realize that what we're doing is really in an intense period. And then right? So when you asked that everything is fast paced, yes, it is, but the honors program is your baby. It's your 2-semester experience. It has to be 150 hours though. That's what 3 credits equals, 150 hours each semester. That's the only requirement, and that it's hefty enough that you're getting something from it. It can't be an internship. It has to be a project, an outcome. Let's see what else we got. If your grades got affected by like the online, this one I think is you, Valerie, that your online online experience brought their grades down. Do we still look at senior grades? I guess it's going to be student by student and.
Exactly. Student by student, many schools didn't actually give grades. They did a pass fail. So in that case, we often will ask to see the senior grades if you're being issued grades again, just to see how you're progressing.
Okay, and I'm looking up the next one to be sure that I do this right, because they're asking how many undergraduate students are in the program. And wow, that's a good question. Why am I not really grasping it for you? Why do I want to say, let's see. Well, I'm trying to double click for you. Valerie, are you wanting to jump in at all? Let me see here. Oh, did you mute? I think you muted by accident. But I want to say, like, am I right to say 1,200? What do you have?
I honestly don't know.
I know, and I should know. So you guys are stumping me, which I'm appreciating. I had it the other day, but for some time, okay, let me just see if it's in here. I might have to come back to that one, guys. Let me just, I don't want to hold everybody up and look any more.
While you're looking up, I'll jump on to the next one that asks, is it possible to get your BS in less than 4 years with credits from high school and AP tests? So the answer to that one is yes, it is possible. We do typically give credit for AP scores of 3 or higher. And if you've taken a college tie-in course in high school, you could potentially get credit for that as well. If you provide us with a high school transcript, I'm sorry, an official college transcript, and that you've gotten at least a C in the course. So coming into us with those AP credits and those college tie-in credits could lead to you graduating in less than the 4 years.
All right, I'm not getting anywhere too quickly here. I think, oh, here we are, Facts Fast. I got it. I know I'm going to get it in here. Here we go. This is the one I was looking for. So our enrollment is, I have to go with my gut, 1459 to be exact is our undergraduate, and our graduate is 388. So thank you for stumping me, but I got the answer. Okay, so how many, can you get into BHP if you come into Stony Brook? Absolutely, but just remember you do need to declare a major at some point, and you can declare your College of Business major at the end of your sophomore year and then still catch up on any business requirements and still do the BHP. So just keep remembering that you have to be a BHP major to do the honors program. Do we have to take double the amount of classes if we are both in the honors? No, just Remy, remember that the College of Business is going to have curriculum of its own. So I don't know where in the honors college you'll be, because Valerie, I'll let you jump in, but you have to declare a major in the honors college. So, right? I mean, how could, if you declare business, you wouldn't be doubling up. You just would have the honors college curriculum, which is these seminars, right?
Right. So if you're in the honors college, you can be any major. And they do have an honors seminar that the students have to take every semester, which meets some of the liberal arts curriculum for your degree. And then you have to do some kind of a senior project based on your major. So I don't know if, can you be in both the honors college and the business honors program, Margot? Do you know? Yes.
Had several students do it.
Yeah. So really the coursework for the honors program meets liberal arts curriculum. So it's really not creating additional courses for you.
Right. I mean, when you're in the business honors program, you have 2 courses you take, but they're shells. So there's the last 2 semesters of your program, and they're shells. So it's really giving you the opportunity in your curriculum, and it goes on your transcript, that you went and did something for 150 hours that was part of the business honors program. And that's it. It's just those 2 shells. Okay, the rest of the curriculum is your major, which is business, and you're going to pick a specialization: operations, accounting, finance, management. I think I'm missing one, but I think yeah. So I was jumping ahead to the next one. Are you okay with this one? Double amount. So No, what if anything, the Honors College is more like, if I'm remembering, the seminars, right? So it's not courses. You're gonna have to take courses somewhere if you're in the Honors College. Books. This was interesting because a student just asked me this. And I was really trying to relate to books that impressed me when I first started out. Interestingly, the one that really stuck to me was the Napoleon Hill, which, Think and Grow Rich. And it's not just only about money, it's about leadership and, how to take charge of your life. And so it gave me a lot of the fundamentals to sort of aspire to always stay open. I think I've always been gravitated to business because I didn't have to decide specifically what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, because every profession needs some kind of management and business oversight. So I've never looked back. I've always enjoyed the field of business. But as far as, starter books kind of thing, What Color is Your Parachute and Think and Grow Rich are probably two at your stages, high school to college, that were very impressive to me. I'm formed by a current entrepreneur that business management may not always have everything necessary for someone to have a business all on their own. So how would one go about getting what they want, like a sample track, in order to get a good understanding? So I would say to you first, do you know which industry you want to be in? I would say that it's true in life. You can study all you want, but until you actually go out and do something or shadow someone that's in an industry that you want to be in, that you're not as equipped to jump into it solo. And so I would say, if you can narrow down the kind of industry or field, you look for mentors and you would intern and shadow. I still think, and I have a college-age son who's majoring in business and a aspiring multi-entrepreneur. And so he's always venturing in sort of various projects, and yet he needed his accounting class, right? He needed his human resource management class. He needs those structured tools that are out there, because there are experiences on how to be a better leader. There are ways that you're going to write your tax forms correctly. Knowing how to do QuickBooks, knowing what a debit, credit, and how to depreciate an asset. I mean, these are things that, you have to speak that language regardless of whether you're an entrepreneur or in business. So I would say, yeah, you need the degree, but you need the experience. So I would answer that with both. What's the normal size of people taking this course, and what way is course taught, such as like, okay, so I'm getting a little confused because, Jeremy, let me just say, the Business Honors Program is just 2 classes in a shell that you get to decide what it makes up that curriculum. With me, I'll help you. So when you say other courses, it's the last 2 semesters of your College of Business experience. So if you loaded a lot of credits, it's not going to be as easy to get as much out of the capstone experience. So I would say don't overload too much, but there's no lectures in there. It's very much your hands-on experience, whether you take it to be research, entrepreneurial, experiential, something you do in the community, or a nonprofit. The choice is yours. Acceptance rate for BHP in the business college. Oh, what is our acceptance rate, Valerie?
Well, we have a general acceptance rate about 40%, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know specific to business though.
Okay. We are a little tough to transfer into. I will tell you that when you get here, and I have to look back, but I believe we've moved up to a 3.5 to get into the transfer. So you come in undecided and you're a freshman, to move into our program used to be a 3.3. So don't quote me on this, but I believe now we're a 3.5, which is the same level for the Business Honors Program. And it's not as easy as you think to get a 3.5. So acceptance rate, just work hard. Just work hard, be true to yourself. I think that, and I don't mean to sound flippant, I really don't. We're all looking to help you excel. So if you're somebody who's talking to the professor, getting the practice materials and trying to achieve, doing the best you can, you are going to go far. I just believe that effort piece is going to work for you and in your favor. So don't let acceptance rates, don't even look, even when it's 12% or 10%, go for it, right? If you don't, you're never going to know. Class size for the School of Business. So my business communications class that I told you about is capped at 45 students, which is wonderfully interactive. I have 9 teams in there of 5 students per team. So it's extremely interactive despite the virtual nature. So I think I answered that. I moved these questions, so I got to make sure I get the right. What is typical class size? Who's in charge of accounting? So you're looking, if you go into the QR code that I sent in my presentation, you can find the faculty under this research. And we have a few. We have Christy Comunale, we have Carla Lacca. We have a lot of great faculty in accounting. So I think that's your question. Not sure, Andrew. Can we get an MBA in 5 years instead of 6? We have a fabulous fast track. Go Google Stony Brook University College of Business fast track. Okay, and it's an MBA program that lets you use your undergraduate towards your graduate. So yes, we do. And I don't know, Valerie, if you wanted to shed any light on that one.
I'm sorry, I was answering another question.
Yeah, no, and don't worry, I think I answered it. I really wouldn't worry. Let me make sure we can get to the other ones. I'm currently taking economics class in my senior year of high school. Do you think that I will have benefits from taking economic class for when I take? Yeah, I absolutely do. I absolutely do. I think economics is such a great basis for business thinking in every specialization. So yes, I think I answered that with enough enthusiasm. Is there a human resource major at SBU? No. And if so, what are some internship opportunities? We do have a specialization certification in human resource that some of my students have done. And one of my students in the business honors program, wow, she was phenomenal, always knew she wanted HR. So we got her set up with a capstone. She did internships, and she just landed a great position as an HR role. I definitely have HR people coming in. As I told you, they're always coming to recruit from our campuses, so there's a lot of exposure. So it's something that you almost have to create your own track, but it's really easy to do in alignment with all of the other opportunities that come by you at the College of Business. Is there anywhere we can go to get an inside look at how students taking the, oh, well, let me say, I have students come and sit in my classes all the time through admissions. Obviously, we're not doing that right now, but if you are not graduating this spring, please circle back to admissions on their shadow program to come in. If you are, Jeremy, wanting to be connected with somebody directly, I'd have to ask their permission first. And I'm sure that they would speak with you. So I did put my information, feel free to reach out. But they're kind of busy right now. To be perfectly honest, I think I told you some of them have a big presentation tomorrow and we're all in finals. So I just want you to realize that maybe next week or certainly the week after, everybody will breathe a little, right? Because I'm sure you're in it also. But I'd love to connect you, Jeremy, if you want to be. So if I took accounting and business classes, my junior and senior, if I got over a C, I will receive the credit. No, I don't. No, we do college to college. I used to sign off. I don't want to speak for the accounting department, but my gut is no, because we're a whole new level, so to speak, of these classes. But again, that one I would give to an advisor. But I don't think your high school credits come in unless they're AP.
Yeah, if they're AP or if they are in conjunction with a college and the college provides you with an official transcript, then we would take a look at the transcript. And if you got a grade of C or higher, you could potentially get credit for that.
Right. The anonymous person about applying to general undecided and then going business, my experience, it might be harder to do it that way. That's just been some of my experience. But Valerie, I defer to you because I don't know if it's easier to get into one versus the other. I mean, don't get me wrong. Is it?
Well, if a student comes into Stony Brook and they're not in the business program initially, then they have to work with advisors in the College of Business to get into the major. So if you're coming from high school, typically they'll have you take some preliminary coursework and if you get certain grades and certain GPA, then usually you can enter the program at that point. If you're entering Stony Brook as a transfer student, then you have to maintain a certain GPA to get into the program as well. But what they do is they'll look at the coursework taken at Stony Brook and they'll combine it with prior coursework at the college level. And you have to have, I believe, at least a 3.2 GPA to be considered for the major in the combined GPA between Stony Brook coursework and non-Stony Brook coursework. So it's a little harder if you have a lot of credits from another college, because it takes a lot of credit to move a GPA up if it's low at that point.
Right. All right, we're running down on questions, guys. Good timing too. So
Yeah.
what math course will be taking in business major? That's going to depend on your specialization too. Like accounting, you're going to have different. That's a tough one, Rima, for me to answer.
Yeah,
Like
I believe the calculus is not unusual for a business major. Some of the coursework does require calculus, so be prepared to, keep up with your math coursework in high school so you can jump up to the next level when you get to college.
Yeah, especially too, like you do have to take an accounting regardless. And so that can be demanding on the math side too. If I completed courses related to HR, what type of degree would I graduate with and what specialty? I think, James, we were talking about, you might have missed it, that HR is not a specialization at the College of Business. So we would be incorporating and folding you into our specializations, which again is the business management major, accounting, finance, marketing, operations. Undecided for my major, but business top choice. Do you have advice that could help me decide to pursue a business major? I'll tell you, the only reason my undergrad is marketing and PR, and then I ended up, after 2 years of starting a business with another woman, ended up getting my MBA at NYU. And I chose that because I knew business would keep me general, in that I could use these skill sets at whatever I did in life. And I have never looked back, between Wall Street careers and development careers and academic careers. I use these skills a lot. So, I don't want you to get too caught up on your major either, guys. In all honesty, we were talking prior to this, your major does not define who you are. And it doesn't even mean you're going to get into that. I tried a couple of years of PR and marketing, and I was like, I got to do something else. Like, just isn't working for me. And I needed more entrepreneurial zest of creating things. So you'll find your journey in life. Don't make each decision too hard. I think it's the momentum that matters most. Marketing require a lot of math? No, it does not. But if you get into marketing research, you may have to do more data analytics and be more critical thinking skills. If I'm applying to SPU undecided and undecided prior to fall that I want to go into the business major, how would that process work, Valerie?
Okay, so if you decide you want to change your major to business prior to a decision being made on your application, you could send an email to us at enroll@stonybrook.edu, and we could possibly change the major that we're going to review your application for. If you have already been admitted and then change your mind about the major, you're going to have to work with the College of Business at your orientation to try to take coursework that's appropriate for you to be reviewed to get into the major at a later point.
That last one looks to be for you, Valerie.
Okay, what score is required on AP exams for credit transferring from high school? So typically we do give credit for scores of 3 or higher on AP exams. We have on our website a chart that outlines the different AP exams and the scores and potential credit, and if there are course equivalents awarded for that particular amount of credit. So you can look all that up on the Stony Brook website. But 3 or higher is the answer.
Will we be able to apply for this program before we attend, or will we be applying while attending the college? Not before you attend. You have to have 1 semester of a 3.5 at Stony Brook. So even when I get my transfer students, I hold on to them for the first semester till they get their 3.5 at Stony Brook. So you have to have your 3.5 at Stony Brook. So the earliest is your 2nd semester freshman.
Okay. Well, we are just about out of time here. I want to thank Professor Palermo for joining us tonight and all of you for all the really great questions. In the next few days, you'll be getting an email from us, and we will include a link to Stony Brook's YouTube page. And we have recorded this session, so you can review it again on the YouTube page. We also have other sessions that we've done in the past, and you can take a look at some of those. Also, check out our website for upcoming sessions that we have scheduled. And thank you all so much for being with us here tonight. And we hope to see you again in the future.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.